Welcome back to ReKrap, episode 13,492, brought to you, as always, by the Bob Rohrman Auto Group. Good old Bob Rohrman. I'm sure he can get you a good deal on a Datsun. He's dead, right? Bob's gone? I have to ask Kelly Dwyer. He can tell us. He's down there near Lafayette. One of Bob's many incredible dealerships. So anyway, we're here to talk about the Bears' 35-14 win over the Dallas Cowboys. Exciting game. Now I'm here to tell you why it really sucked. No, I'm just kidding. You can get that in the Sun-Times tomorrow, I'm sure. They can tell you about that. Turns out a lot more fun to watch the Bears when they win and when they actually have an offense, which was fun. Got to see our old friend, Matt Eberflus, who is the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. And woof, what a defense he has. It was really something. They gave up, did they give up 40 points to the Giants last week? Then 31 to the Bears. 31. Did I say 35? I was giving them an extra 4. Just because they feels like they deserved it. 31-14. In front of the good Lord and Tom Brady and everybody else. Brady, so there's a whole controversy around Tom Brady, right? There's a whole thing about how he gets to go to the production meetings with the teams now, but he's basically running the Raiders. He's basically the de facto, he's not just a part owner, he's the de facto president of football operations. And he's going to take all of the intel that he gets in those production meetings, and he's going to tell the Raiders, and it's just going to be impossible to overcome that. And guess who the Bears play next week? They play in Vegas against the overly excitable Pete Carroll and the Las Vegas Raiders. Who gives a shit? Right? I don't know what they talk about in those production meetings that's really all that you can't figure out on your own after a game. I mean, I guess it could be an issue if Tom was having the production meeting and the game was this week, but probably not. I mean, can't you be smart enough about what you tell him? Do you have to, have to tell him all the good stuff? We're going to run a flea flicker time. I want to see us write it. I'll draw it up on the chalkboard for you. And I'll tell you exactly when we're going to run it. How many minutes left? And you can tell Pete. So I don't know that I'd be all that concerned about that. I don't know if anybody watched. I don't watch pregame shows. I just think they're terrible. But I did watch the first segment, maybe 2, I forget, 2 of the NFL Today on CBS. Today was the 50th anniversary to the day of the creation of that podcast of the pregame show. It would have been a podcast if such a thing existed back then. And not only did they bring Brent Musburger back to be on the show, they brought back the old intro, which was cool. And they had the regular panelists, James Brown, Bill Cowher, Nate Burleson, and Matt Ryan, dress like it was 1975. And it was pretty funny. But the best part was they showed James Brown had an afro and big mutton chop sideburns. And then they showed a picture of him in 1975. He had a big afro and mutton chops. So it was pretty good. And Brent was clearly relishing it. Brent's 86 and still completely with it. He got to do the "You Are Looking Live" thing at the beginning, which he loved. And then he got to throw it out to each of the announcing crews. I guess it's a thing they do every week. I don't know. I don't watch. And the first one they sent it to was Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. And because there were so many backup quarterbacks starting this week, around I think 5 of them, Brent said to Tony, he said, somebody's going to press you into service. Tony looked terrified. And then Jim told a charming story about how it's actually his 40th anniversary. Like, hey, I know Brent's there, and but don't forget about me. It's my 40th. And that when he first started on the NFL Today, the chair he used had Brent's name written on it in tape. And I assume it was the chair that they wheeled him out on when they fired him at the Final Four in 1990. I think Jim and Brent overlapped. I think Jim did some stuff on NFL Today before Brent got fired. So I don't think he meant what it sounded like, which was, hey, when I took over for you, they still hadn't bothered to take your fucking name off my chair. But that's what it sounded like. Anyway, it's pretty well done. And when they went to the announcing teams, Ian Eagle decided to join in the fun. He had a fake mustache on. to make it look like it was 1975. And I thought J.J. Watt was dressed up, and he wasn't. He just wears like these old glasses from like the 80s. But he had a funny line, and he said, "I don't know that I can do this broadcast looking at you, Burt Reynolds." It was kind of funny. Anyway, so I thought they handled that really well. I watched part of a pregame show for the first time in got to be at least 20 years, and it'll probably be 20 more before I do it again. So I don't know if you remember this. The Bears had lost to the Lions last week, 52 to minus 1,000, and it was pretty bad. It was pretty bleak. And the whole idea behind the ReKrap when I first started was I was going to just rant and rave like Dave Kaplan for like 10 minutes and just call it good. And I can't do it. I just can't bring myself to do that. So even last week I was relatively, you know what, this is, they can't. The reason Ben Johnson has his job is that it's a fucking mess and he's trying to fix it. And if he could fix it in 2 weeks, he'd have been a miracle worker. Well, I can say now that after seeing week 3, he's fixed it. They're going to the Super Bowl. Let's all get tickets. It'll be fun. But I do think this is the kind of thing you're going to see, right? Where the Cowboys defense is bad and Ben Johnson's offense just carved it up. And it was, if you're Matt Eberflus, it probably was very familiar. Hey, there's Ben Johnson over there. Oh, his team scored 30 points on us. But it's a process. And Caleb, I thought, played really well again today. I got to tell you, the throw he made on the flea flicker is ridiculous. So I've got all my dogs here. We're going to reenact the play. No, I can barely get them to go outside at the same time, much less get them to do this. But it was a handoff to DeAndre Swift, and DeAndre turned and then was supposed to pitch it back to Caleb. DeAndre claims he got hit. I don't know that he did, but the ball hung in the air for, I don't know, a good 30 seconds. Just a big balloon hanging in the air. And so when it came down to Caleb caught it and in one motion caught it and without stepping into the throw, threw the ball 70 yards in the air to Luther Burden. For a touchdown. It's ridiculous. I mean, he can really throw a fucking football, man. And yeah, he misses some play, he misses some passes, and everybody freaks out. He completed, 67% of his passes today for 298 yards, 4 touchdowns, didn't get sacked. Well, I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody on Chuggo that's complaining about it. So if you want to flip over to that, you want to get that out of your system, you're more than happy to. It was funny because there was a lot of Luther Burden early. And I wondered if part of the reason he was on the field as much as he was early was that because this play was apparently designed for him. Caleb talked about it in the postgame and how they kept running it. He kept missing Luther. And I wonder if it's one of those things where we got to get Luther some plays so when he's out there for this, it's not like a big red alert. Like, remember when they would bring Velus Jones in and they were just going to run an end around to him every time he was on the field? It took the defense like 3 plays in the entire season to go, 12's in. So it's going to be an end around. Everybody come over here. We'll all jump on him. I wonder if that was it. But Luther's good, too. That could have been part of it. I just wanted to actually have him out there. The only injury, I guess, of note is Colston Loveland. He's got a hip. I'm sure we can get Wani to comment on his hip. Other than that, they seem to have come out of it relatively unscathed. They certainly went into it scathed. Jalen Johnson out for the year. They're still playing. Kyler Gordon hasn't played yet. It's like, he's kind of important. It'd be nice to get him out there. And TJ Edwards hurt again. Oh, Noah Sewell seems to be doing good. I'll have to check in with Adam Hogue after he grades the tape, and then I'll know how well, if Noah's actually playing well or not. And it was funny to hear both on the broadcast and in some of the post-game stuff, everybody talking about how great the Bear defense played. Gave up 400 yards to the Cowboys. I mean, let's get Winston Wolf out here. He tell us what to not start doing to each other just yet. But I do get it. I understand that they're playing with a compromised defense. And the biggest thing was they held the Cowboys to 1 touchdown. They got to 14, but they got there with a touchdown, 2 field goals, and a 2-point conversion. And the Cowboys were bad on 3rd down, 3 for 11. What they weren't bad at was running the ball. Every time it was a handoff, it was like, there's 8 yards. And they had a 4th down before they kicked a field goal where it was 4th and 1. And they came to the line and they faked like they were going to go for it, try to get the Bears to jump off. Now, I granted, it's not that hard to get the Bears to commit a penalty. But then they didn't go for it. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. The Bears could not have stopped them. But I was happy with that. It's always nice when the other team doesn't do the thing you're afraid they're going to do. But yeah, Javonte Williams. If you watch the game, without looking at the stats, how many yards would you say Javonte Williams ran for? Because I would have, if you had held the gun to my head, I would have said, I don't know, 140. He only ran for 76 yards. It was on 10 carries, but it certainly felt like he had more than 10 carries. Man, average almost 8 yards a carry. It seems like if you have a running back averaging 8 yards a carry against the Bears, you should be able to score more than 14. I mean, it is coached by Schottenheimer. There's a gleam, man. There's a gleam. Great play early in the game. So the Bears went 3 and out, punted. Cowboys are ramming it right down their butt on their first possession. And Javonte Williams goes around the left end. He's going up the sidelines. Very nice gain. And all of a sudden, he's tackled by the sidelines, and everybody's pointing in the opposite direction. And you could see it. You could see that Tyreek was trying to steal the ball from him on TV live. And he did. He literally just reached in behind and pulled the ball out. It was a pretty nice play. Tyreek had a really good game, actually. And it's kind of the frustration of the Tyreek Stevenson experience is he could be really, really good. And then sometimes he's real awful. But we get the good one today, and that certainly helped. Luther led all Bear receivers, 3 for 101, helps when he gets 65 on one play. Rome had a 35-yard touchdown pass on the first possession, which was a very nice. It helped that. Which Diggs is this? It's not Stephon. It's the other one. Travion? Something like that. He fell down, and Caleb saw it, and Rome saw it, and nice laser throw right up the sideline for a touchdown. So Rome 3 for 62. DeAndre caught 3 for 45. They ran a screen pass that actually worked. It's the first time in Bears history. They should have stopped the game and installed a historical marker plaque right on the sidelines. Gained 41 yards on it. Lovett had a nice catch before he blew out his hip. I always say it wrong. It's not Olamide Zacchaeus. I can't think of what it is. I was going to remember it. Olamide. I think it's Olamide Zacchaeus. He's a really nice player. And I don't get why the Commanders let him go. I'm glad the Bears have him. He's not a star, but he doesn't get paid like a star by the Bears. Maybe it was the salary cap and they knew they were going to have to pay Scary Terry a lot of money and they couldn't keep him, but he's pretty good. DJ Moore caught 4 passes for 21 yards, got to play some running back. And I have a real problem with that. Not that I don't think DJ can be productive there, but why? Why is he in the running back rotation? So we have DeAndre Swift, and then we have Kyle Monangai, who almost Jim Marshalled himself on a play down by the goal line, got hit, spun around, started running the wrong way, lost 8 yards. As everyone, Tom Brady, and I was thinking the same thing. He had fought through a tackle and was going to gain a yard, and it was like, wow, that was a great effort. And all of a sudden, he's not down, and he's running the wrong way. It's like, stop. He should have pretended he was on fire, stopped, dropped, and rolled, and it would have saved the Bears 8 yards. But then DJ got 3 carries. Is that right? Am I looking at this right? Yeah. And not like end arounds, but like line him up in the backfield and have him run over somebody. He knocked Diggs out of the game. Yeah, and we know part of the reason the Bears held the Cowboys to 14 points was CeeDee Lamb blew out his ankle like 4 plays into the game. That didn't hurt because he's really good, and they didn't have to worry about him. But still. The Bears had a very impressive drive in the third quarter. It is the longest drive play-wise in the NFL so far this year. That's a long one. This usually happens 2 of them. 19 plays for 76 yards. It took 9 minutes and 54 seconds. And very un-Bears-like. It was very run-heavy, which was good. But they converted a 3rd and 10. That was a pass, 12-yard pass from Caleb to DJ. A 3rd and 1, 2-yard game by DeAndre. Usually on 3rd and 1, lucky to get the 1, but they got 2. 3rd and 4. That was an end around to Luther for 7 yards. And Brady called it a reverse. It's like, no, Tom, let me tell you a little something about football. I don't know. I guarantee you Bill Belichick gave like a 40-minute lecture at some point during Tom's career about the difference between a reverse and an end around. The end around is when the end from one side comes around, takes the handoff, and goes around the other end. The reverse is when somebody goes that way and there's another handoff and somebody takes it in the other direction. And then a double reverse is crazy. That's first guy comes around, hands it to second guy hands it to a third guy, which I'm sure the Bears will have because they've got all kinds of funky plays now. We get to see that at some point. Anyway, they converted a 3rd and 4. They had another 3rd and 1. That was a 2-yard gain by DeAndre. And then on first and goal at the 7, they had a minus 8-yard run by Kyle. That ended up then they had 4th and goal at the 4. They're up by 10. They're up 24-14. And it's like, just kick the field goal. Just keep scoring points. That's all you got to do. Don't be crazy. But no, we're going for it. Oh my God, we're going for it. And it's a touchdown pass. And it's like, oh, of course we went for it. It was funny. There were multiple Bears after the game were asked, were you surprised by that? And everybody's like, no, we knew. And then they asked Ben about it. And he's like, what do you mean they said they knew? What are they giving away state secrets? Like, no, we've seen you and your buddy, Dan Campbell. 4th down is just 3rd and a half to you, not actual 4. But it worked. I don't know what the nerd chart would have said. I have a feeling they would have wanted you to kick and go up by 2 full scores. It worked. And that's the last points they scored. The drive before the end of the first half was also impressive in that they did the thing the good teams tried to do, which is they went slow at the beginning to try to just get a couple of first downs to make sure the Cowboys wouldn't get the ball back with enough time to do anything. And then when they got a couple of first downs, and they hurried up and they actually scored a touchdown. Like, holy shit, it's like a grown-up football team. Again, it helps that the Cowboy defense is a sieve. It also helped the running game that Kenny Clark got hurt. If you remember Kenny Clark, he's the guy from the Packers that the Bears never were able to block in the 7 years he was there, or however long he was a Packer. And he was the player. There were 2 number ones, and a player got traded from the Packers to the Cowboys in the Micah Parsons trade. It's like, oh, good. Well, we're going to only have to play him once, twice. We won't be able to block him. And they couldn't. And then he got hurt, and then they could run the ball. It's amazing. I'm sure one didn't have anything to do with the other. Dallas's tight end, Jake Ferguson, caught 13 passes. He averaged 6 yards a catch. Okay, Jake, you want to catch another one? Go get him. I thought that was really the thing the defense did best was they tackled well, which is not always a given with this bunch. And so while the Cowboys mounted some drives, they couldn't really get any huge explosive plays, and they really didn't have any where, the guy in the secondary misses a tackle and you gave up 40 more yards or whatever. And they basically just forced the Cowboys to methodically drive the ball down the field. And incredibly, they can only do it 3 times. And twice they just got to field goal range. So it was very good. It was nice to see Ben get his first win. Bear fans will get off the ledge until next week. God forbid they lose to the Raiders. If they do, it'll just because Tom Brady told all their secrets. That's why they lost. They were going to win, but then he's like, hey, Pete, I got all the Bears' secrets. What do you think the Bears' secrets are? Well, the cornerbacks are all injured and bad, so just throw a lot. They also can't stop the run, so just give it to Ashton Genty like 40 times. So run or pass is probably fine on offense. Yeah. And I'm all that worried about the trade secrets. I don't think the Bears are good enough to have any trade secrets yet, but maybe we'll get there someday. But yeah, 1-2, probably should be 2-1. The Viking game still, I think that was lost by some bad calls from the refs that the Bears could not overcome because they didn't play well enough to overcome them. So blame it on both. But that was a winnable game, and they lost. God, I hope it doesn't cost them the playoff spot. Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about that. But this whole season really is just about them. You want them to get better and better and better and better. So I think they have a good coach, and I think they have a good quarterback, and I think there's some good pieces around it. But I also think that coming from where they came from, it's dumb to think that they're not going to have some rocky moments for the whole first half of the season, at least. And then we'll see where they are injury-wise afterwards. But the key to this whole year is just for them to keep getting better. And at the end of it, to feel like they've got a quarterback who fits the scheme, and the scheme fits the quarterback, and the coach knows what the hell he's doing. And I'm pretty confident they do. But I also kind of an idiot. So we have that to overcome. All right. Well, that's it for the ReKrap. Not a lot of yelling. If you want one where there's a lot of yelling, take the R out of it and go to the ReKap. I'm sure Cap has found. Oh, he's very excited because that little podcast, mini podcast, whatever it is. It's either the worst loss in the history of the world or the greatest win ever for everybody, for the Bears, the Cubs, anybody. I don't know. I don't know how you live that way, but I guess I can't. Anyway, glad to see the Bears win. It was a lot of fun. That's why we watch this stupid sport. And on occasion, the Bears entertain you thoroughly, and we got that today. So, good job. This is a Dave Brown week on the regular podcast, so look for that. It should be coming up in a couple of days, and we'll see you later.